Take their seats. We're going to be starting in about 2 minutes. Mira.
This is working. It's just that we have the feeling that it goes down. You go like this, and then it works.
When Noah does the invocation,
Okay.
he's too small, so that doesn't bend all the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started. If everybody could please take their seat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give a warm applause to the Madder Lake Academy chorus.
All right, I think we're ready to get started. Welcome to the 2019 State of the Town Address, and thank you so much for being here, and thank you to everybody that's joining us online. This is being live streamed on Facebook, it's being live streamed on our town website, and it's being live streamed on YouTube. My name is Melissa. For those that don't know me, I am Mayor Sid's wife, and when he asked me to be the MC for the night, which is the Master of Ceremonies, I wasn't sure it was a good idea. But when I thought about it, I am the one who gets him going every single day, where he needs to go, everything he needs to get done. I am the one that makes sure he is dressed appropriately for any event or Facebook Live video or town council meeting or ribbon cutting or new homeowner ribbon cutting. You know, I really am the one that kind of makes sure he gets done everything he needs to get done. And then when I also looked at the calendar, I saw that today is Boss's Day. And I think we all know who the boss is in every family, whether we want to admit it or not. So, and something we haven't talked about yet is that I think there's a nice dinner that he owes to me later, and maybe a massage, and any other suggestions that you want to throw out there while we're here, I'll take them. But no, in all seriousness, I'm happy to be here. Now, the theme of this year's State of the Town is the Miami Lakes family. And I'm not just talking about our family or the council family, I'm talking about you, our town family. And our town has never been closer, our town has never been stronger. We are a community who helps each other and stands by each other during the best times and even the most difficult times. It's the love and support from our community that sets Miami Lakes apart from every city in South Florida and of the state of Florida. And we are such a strong community and such a strong family. There are a few other families in Miami Lakes I really want us to all think about and pray about tonight. That is the Casada family, it's the Moore family, it's the Dukey family, and it's the Yanis family. They're all going through a tough time right now, have lost family members, and one little boy from Our Lady of the Lakes also just got diagnosed with cancer. So it's our family, our town family, that will keep these people going, and please just keep them in your prayers. Family is the cornerstone of our society, and nothing rings truer than here in Miami Lakes. So we're going to start off the evening with our invocation, which is normally given by the head of a local church. But tonight, it's going to be our son, Noah Sid. And I think there's nothing purer than the prayer of that of a child. So if you may all please rise for the prayer.
Please bow your heads. Lord, thank you for blessing us with such a beautiful town. Always protect us from harm and danger, and help the council members and my father make good decisions. Always help those which have gone hurt and which are injured. Always help the ones with diseases, cancer, and more. And help the boy which got diagnosed with cancer. Help him regain strength, and help everybody else regain strength. And thank you for bringing us together, Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Noah. And please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Manny Sid Jr.
Please place your hands on your heart. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Manny. And please remain standing for a performance of the national anthem by the Mater Lakes Chorus from Mater Lakes Academy, led by Miami Laker Nick Mastrovito.
Twilight
the Matter Lakes Chorus. Thank you, guys. Beautiful job. You may all be seated. One last round of applause for them, everyone. So for those of you that know Manny, you know he's a go-getter, he fights for our town, he's a visionary, and he's very down to earth. He's one of the most transparent and accessible elected officials in the whole state of Florida. You also know that he loves sharing his cell phone number on the internet and doing Facebook Live videos. And for those of you joining us live online tonight, that was one of Manny's first initiatives when he was elected to be a council member back in 2012. I'm often asked if Manny being so involved in our town is hard on our family, if it somehow compromises our family unit. And the resounding answer to that is no. Part of the reason he is so successful as your mayor is because he is such a great husband and great father, and he always puts our family first. He rarely misses any of our child's sports games or activities, anything that is important to me. And in fact, he is a basketball coach for both of our sons' basketball teams, and he has coached over 100 kids over the years. He puts his family first. It's a joy to be his wife. It's a joy to see him be a role model to our boys and to other youth in our community, and it's a joy to watch him serve this community. Giving the State of the Town address tonight, please welcome Mayor Sid.
That was amazing, babe. So that's why I picked her as an MC, right? She was awesome, right? So the state of our town is strong, and I truly believe it's stronger than ever. And just as my wife said, and it's due to the families in Miami Lakes. It's the Miami Lakers that make this community strong. Everything we do on the council, be it Councilman Dieguez, Councilman Rodriguez, Councilman Ruano, the Vice Mayor Rodriguez, Councilman Collazo, and Councilman Alvarez, every single thing that we do is based on our families. And the families here in our community that make our town great. But something, and we sort of sometimes have to look outside of our town to see what's truly going on inside. The Miami Herald recently had a survey, a town, not only town-wide, a county-wide survey. Every single broker, real estate broker in Miami-Dade County participated. They were asked one question. If you were to purchase a single-family home today in Miami-Dade County, where would you purchase that home? We came in the top three. It's Miami Beach, Coral Gables, and Miami Lakes. That's a big deal. And I think that's due to the families here in the town of Miami Lakes that portray what being a Miami Laker is all about. And people see that. I can tell you, people outside of our community see that. They want to live here. The demand to move here is at its highest ever in the history of the town of Miami Lakes. Something else that folks see and why they want to move here, why they want to be part of the Miami Lakes family. This past year, again, we were rated number 11 out of 412 cities in Florida, 412 cities in Florida, and we were rated number 11 for public safety. That's due to the hard work of our officers every single day, and I think the proof is in the pudding. But talking about the Miami Lakes family, something unique to this day is something we've done this past year, is that we have 3 charter members. We have 3 employees that work directly for the town council. That's our town manager, our town attorney, and our town clerk. And something different this year is that all 3 of them are Miami Lakers. And you better believe that makes a difference in the work product that they do every single day. It's not just a 9 to 5. I mean, I'll give you an example. Our town clerk, there are days that I'll call her and she's here at City Hall on a Sunday. working and shit. And I asked her, what are you doing, Gina? What's going on? She goes, no, I need to make sure that these documents go out, that all this information on our website is done properly, and that's done because they believe in the town of Miami Lakes. So thank you guys to the 3 charter members for your hard work. And again, I wanted to recognize our town clerk, because she did something this year. She implemented something that she became the first clerk in the entire nation to do so. We're the first city to do live remote public comments. So imagine that, and that's something that our clerk implemented, meaning that any single Miami Laker, every single Miami Laker, even if you don't live in Miami Lakes and you want to participate in our meetings, you can participate from anywhere in the world. So our meetings start at 6:30, depends. Most Miami Lakers are working, they're getting home, they're tired, they can't make it. So thanks to our town clerk, now everybody has that ability simply by getting their phone, opening up an app, the FaceTime app or the Zoom app, and participating live on the flat screens here at Town Hall. And I see one Miami Laker that's utilized it several times, and it works. And it creates trust. And that's thanks to the hard work of our folks here in the town of Miami Lakes. I also wanted to recognize our Public Works Department, because this year we had implemented a couple years back something called the mobility plan for the town of Miami Lakes. We're the first city in Miami-Dade County to do that. We had a workshop yesterday here at Town Hall, and something that we were recognized for, and the person doing this workshop, he said, you know what, you guys have been the lead. So much so that Miami-Dade County is now doing a $2 million plan based on our plan. And that plan is that every single developer that comes to the town of Miami Lakes doesn't get a free ride. You have to mitigate the impact that you bring to this community. So due to those dollars, this past year alone that we've gained in that mobility plan, we built 2 projects. The Windmill Gate project that added that extra entrance for the folks that live in that northern corridor of our community that are stuck in traffic every day, and the resurfacing of Miami Lakeway South. Those things sound like small developments, small things, but they're huge, and they've impacted the quality of life of Miami Lakers here in the town of Miami Lakes. I also wanted to recognize our Veterans Affairs Committee, because we're also one of the first cities to go above and beyond. Not only are we getting a satellite office here in our community for veteran services, but we have a parking just for veterans and just for those that were wounded, our Purple Heart veterans here in the town of Miami Lakes. That's actually 2 Purple Heart veterans here in our community. They reached out to me and said, hey, we need to make sure that we convert that to a veterans parking space here in our community. Something else that's been major in the town of Miami Lakes Drive. It's an F-rated road. It's a really hard road to get across every single morning. Everybody here has dealt with it. It's not easy, but I'll tell you this, something that's really changed this year, thanks to our major and our lieutenant, is having those officers there every single morning and the impact that's had, plus the synchronization of lights. Our police department did a survey for over a month. They analyzed the traffic from before the lights were synchronized and before they were out there every single morning, and they saw a huge difference. Before they were out there and before the lights were synchronized, the average time to get under the Palmetto was 30 minutes. Imagine that, just 30 minutes in a corridor in our community. The average time today, due to the work of our police officers, is close to 5 minutes. So that is a major, major reduction in the impact in our town, and I'm sure you've all seen it, that impact, how you can go east and west now in our community thanks to our police officers and thanks to the synchronization of lights. So I couldn't leave out the pets in our community, right? We got to do, although they don't vote, right? Dogs don't vote, but we wanted to go above and beyond. We put in our dog park a couple years ago, and you know what? That's that great saying, if you build it, they will come. That amenity in our community has been one of the most popular parks in Miami Lakes, so much so that we were just named Better City. We were just certified as Better Cities for Pets program here in the town of Miami Lakes, and that's, for us, it's huge because that continues to attract people to move to our community. They know not only do we have great amenities for families, they know not only do we have great amenities for people that want to retire here, but also a lot of folks, their furry friends have a home here in the town of Miami Lakes, and that improves the quality of life of Miami Lakers, those types of initiatives. Something else I truly wanted to talk about are LPRs, license plate readers. It might sound a little scary, and for me it was at first. When this issue came up before the town council years ago, I was one of the first ones to fight against it. I voted against the license plate readers back 3 to 4 years ago because I had privacy concerns. I was like, you know what, Miami Lakers shouldn't have to drive on our streets and have their tags taken and the town government store that data. Fortunately, the state legislature stepped up. They passed rules with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Now that there's security for that data, and that data gets wiped out if you didn't commit a crime. Now we've implemented 2 of those here in the town of Miami Lakes. And the difference that's made for our detectives and our police officers, we've deterred crime and we've caught folks immediately while they're committing crime here in the town due to those license plate readers. So for those of you that don't know maybe the license plate reader, what it is, if there's a BOLO, be on the lookout for somebody. If somebody committed a major crime and they stole a car and they're driving through our community, anybody that drives past that license plate reader, every single one of our police officers that's on duty gets an alert and immediately intercepts that individual once they come into our community. And something different too that our police department's doing, they've reached out to every single homeowners association in the town of Miami Lakes and said, hey, we're more than happy to partner with you all. The technology, the cost of that technology has decreased. We're seeing some of the technology going for $6,500. Imagine that some of these homeowner associations have 800 homes, 300 apartments, whatever it may be. For $6,500, you can partner with our police department directly, and anybody that drives into your area that has an issue that they're looking for, police is looking for, they stole a vehicle, every single one of our police officers will get an alert immediately in their cars and intercept those folks. So that's a challenge tonight, one of the ones for our HOA presidents. I see one here today. Go out and talk to our police department. These tools are at your disposal. I know there's one HOA that had some recent issues here in our community. Our police department's going to meet with them tomorrow to offer these same solutions. So fortunately, these privacy concerns were addressed, and I was able to support these types of initiatives moving forward, and that's why we continue to be number 11 out of 412 cities in the town of Miami Lakes, in the state of Florida. The elephant in the room, the bridge issues, right? 170th Street, 154th Street, we've been talking about that for a long time. It had a lot of play throughout the entire state. I was getting calls everywhere about this. It's a major issue. Both of these bridges are similar, but they're different legal strategies. But something I really wanted to point out and call out some folks, because I think it's a bit maybe disingenuous. For a long time, we were told that the bridges needed to be open and to push traffic into Miami Lakes because of public safety issues. So the commissioner from that area kept calling the town, called us out, said, hey, Miami Lakes is keeping these bridges closed for public safety. What doesn't make sense to me is that if that is the case, so why is the county moving forward with a change of use on 170th to move from industrial to add another 1,400 homes, 1,400 apartments, if that is a public safety issue? So I wanted to make sure I used that platform tonight to call out those folks. Those arguments just don't carry any water for me nor the town council, and we're going to take this issue as far as we have to go to make sure that our residents' interest is represented in these discussions. And wanted to thank our town manager specifically during the State of the Town address. Our town manager, Ed Peterman, longtime Miami Laker, raised his family here, coach at the Optimist, you name it, all around a great family man, great individual, high character individual. His second day as a manager here in our community, he was placed on the hot seat, and he was up here taking on an agenda that wasn't even his, and he never once complained about it, never once said, hey, this wasn't my agenda. He took it in stride from day one. We had some budgetary issues. We had some other things we have to look at for the bond of this building, you know, so forth and so on. But he truly took on the mantle of leadership and never once complained, never once said anything, never once said, hey, this wasn't my issue. He always took it on because he knew that the job that he does today is going to impact Miami Lakers going forward. So I specifically wanted to point him out because he's done a great job so far, and I think that's not easy, right? Imagine at a 16-year transition. We had the same town manager for 16 years here in the town of Miami Lakes. We're a $40 million organization, and we had the same person here for 16 years. So you would think that transition, there would be bumps along the roads, there will be issues. There haven't been any issues. It's the other way around. We're investing in our future. We're moving forward. Town staff is happy. Our manager's doing a great job. And I think that's a testament to him, testament to our town staff for keeping our town moving in the right direction. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the future. and specifically a game-changing project here in the town of Miami Lakes. So has anybody here gone to Costco before, right? To go to Costco, you got to go outside of Miami Lakes. You got to go down the perimeter road. You have to go down 57th Avenue, pretty much go outside to get to the one of our main industrial parks, business sectors in our community. Finally, we're moving forward with the plans to connect 59th Avenue to 154th Street, meaning that whole sector will be connected to the town of Miami Lakes. But I wanted to share a funny story how things happen and how things are made in politics. So 5 years ago, I started receiving calls from residents. Mayor, no, I was a council member at the time. There's an issue. I would love to have a boat. I'd love to have an RV. I can't park in front of my house. There's restrictions. So I said, you know what? Let's maybe find an alternative. Let's find a boat parking lot that we can utilize here in our community in a different sector. We found a spot. FPO owned an area of the town, and we said, hey, let's move forward. One resident who was very vocal had rallied the troops up. They were very upset at me. You know, how can you do this? There are dozens and dozens and dozens of phone calls. People show up to our meetings, really, really upset at me. And we had to find an alternative. We had to find an alternative. At that point, we found the airport, the airport runway into the town of Miami Lakes. There's an entire section there that's not utilized by the airport approach. So we told the county, hey, we want to do this. That's the whole idea came out of that discussion, because that idea popped up, hey, let's do this, but why not connect the road? Now fast forward all these years, 5 years later, the road's going to get connected, the money's already funded, the design is funded, everything's moving forward on that end. So hopefully we'll be breaking ground very soon. And that resident that caused all those issues for me back then, and kind of these things ended up happening, is our town manager today. So it's interesting how life comes full circle, right? When people mean well, when people have their heart in the right places, how things end up working for our community, and things end up better. Because now, not only are we going to get the parking lot that our residents kept asking for their RVs, for their boats, but we're also opening up the road on 59th Avenue, and it's fully funded, and our town manager is here today. I also wanted to and I'll leave you all with this, especially about the future. One thing that we've done here, and the whole council is really championed it. We have a 15-year strategic plan. Every 15 years, we develop our vision for the future. Unfortunately, these visions sometimes get just put on a shelf, and nobody really reads it, nobody interacts with it. So we have, I really wanted to point out Herman, who's our Chief Innovation Officer, and he's the person who runs our strategic plan here in the town of Miami Lakes. He got the document. He said, we have to do better. So him on his own, and at no cost to the town of Miami Lakes, he created a website called Imagine Miami Lakes 2025. He worked with our planning staff, where he got every single project in that plan, and he put it on a map where in real time you can open up Imagine Miami Lakes 2025 and look at your neighborhood and click on any project near you. And those are projects from parks to infrastructure to roads to sustainability. And you can click on that project. You see how much the project costs. You can see the design of the project, the completion date. And on top of that, you can interact with the staff member that is overseeing that project. He's really taken that department to the next level, so much so that the Miami-Dade League of Cities recently showcased the website at their Best Practices Conference. So thank you, Herman. And we actually have about 10, we went from nobody looking at our strategic plan to 10,000 views on that website. So I think that's a huge success for the town of Miami Lakes. And on top of that, 50% of that plan, already just 5 years into the plan, 50% of the plan is either done or in the final stages of being complete. So that's a huge testament to our town staff. I mean, we're getting things done here on a daily basis. So I want to leave you all with this one thing, and going back to the Miami Lakes family. And I see it every single day. I get calls from Miami Lakers every day on my town phone. My wife talked about it, how I share my cell phone. So I'll tell you, I really do get text messages and calls every day. And every single concern that people have, every single comment, every single vision that they might have for the future revolves around the family. It revolves around being a Miami Laker. And to me, it's really touching, and it's opened my eyes as a policymaker, where a lot of times we get stuck in the weeds of things that don't help anybody. So I think that's one thing that staff has really honed into, so as a council, that our job is to make people's lives better. not to get stuck in national politics and this and that. It's really to make the lives better of Miami Lakers, because you all deserve it. You're all amazing, and you're all the reason why our community is where it is today. So thank you very much. God bless Miami Lakes, and God bless the United States. Take care.
All right, so this evening is not possible without our very special sponsors. The title sponsor for third year in a row is Jetstream Federal Credit Union. Thank you for being such great community partners, and they are led by Mara Falero, Dora Rivery, John Fearson, and Louis Ferrer. Thank you. Please, big round of applause for them. And I hope you had a chance to sample some of the great food that was being brought out by students today. That was provided by the Miami Lakes Educational Center Culinary Arts Program. Those are their culinary students, and they are led by Lourdes Diaz and Helena Castro. Please, big round of applause for them. Those students have been cooking from scratch all day long and have been preparing all day, and I think they did a great job. If you had a chance to enjoy the wine that was brought to us by Gaucho's Gourmet Market, please give a round of applause for Gaucho's. And Highway Beer provided the beers for tonight, so I hope you got a chance to enjoy a beer beverage. Thank you. Big round of applause for them. Now, it's a big Miami Lakes tradition to honor some very special people in our town. The first award will be given out to the Business of the Year. The business receiving the award this year really wowed all of us Miami Lakers. If you attended last year's Mayor's Gala or this year's Mayor's Gala, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They transformed the Roberto Alonso Community Center with beautiful decor and props, something that you would normally have to drive outside of Miami Lakes to experience. This business was the title sponsor 2 years in a row for the Mayor's Gala, and they donated hundreds and hundreds of hours in planning, design, building, installing, and just man hours to make our fantasy a reality. And it's all because they too believed in the same cause as us, in making Miami Lakes an inclusive town and raising money for our Special Needs Advisory Board. Please welcome up here and give a huge round of applause for Fantasy Designers.
I didn't have anything planned. No, I'm just joking. No, we moved out here we moved out to PSN originally in about 92, my parents, and around that time they wanted to move to Miami Lakes eventually. So it was building up the business to the point where they could move to Royal Oaks. We could always remember passing by Royal Oaks and always telling my mom and my dad, I want to live in this area. So they worked really hard, built the business up. Then they purchased a business location. And my mom would not want it anywhere else but Miami Lakes. And she kept, no, I don't like this place. I don't like that place. I want it in Miami Lakes. And now I understand why. So I'm grateful to my parents for the business that they established for me, and I was able to take over, and and I'm grateful for my team. We do an excellent job, and I'm really happy basically where we've gone. So thank you.
Another big round of applause for fantasy designers. The next recognition of this year is a big one. It's for Volunteer of the Year. Volunteers are the backbone of our community, and it's a great tradition in Miami Lakes in honoring the Volunteer of the Year. The honor goes to an individual who has made a huge impact on our town, giving selfless, countless number of hours back to our community. The honoree for this year gave not hundreds of hours, but thousands of hours. Her dedication to helping the youth is admirable and has touched many hundreds of lives over the years. In a world where it's so easy to complain about everything wrong in this world, she instead uses her time and heart to help others. She's never one to take credit for her accomplishments. In fact, she doesn't even know she's getting the award today. Had to kind of, convince her to come. She's a true heart of a volunteer. I'm going to go through some of the volunteer hours and events that she hosted this past year. I'm going to start with her work as a Youth Activities Task Force member. She also serves on the Education Advisory Board. Helped at the Jingle Bell Jog, the Halloween event, the Spring Fling, gave many hours at the Mayor's Basketball Challenge, was there to help at the Mayor's Beyblade Challenge. She put in many hours to help at the Mental Health Awareness Walk, helped organize a bike rodeo, volunteered before and after Hurricane Irma and Dorian, helped at almost every Movies in the Park, helped organize a youth employment fair, and give meals to Coast Guard during the government shutdown. And that's not all. Back in 2014, she founded a nonprofit called the Giving Gators. This nonprofit group that she runs hosts back-to-school drives, homeless awareness food drives, food and supply. She has a food and supply pantry located in Barbara Goldman Senior High School that is open to not just Barbara Goldman students, but all students in Miami Lakes. She's raised money for a new sound system at Barbara Goldman High School with the help of our EAB committee. She hosts a Thanksgiving drive for those in need. She hosts a Christmas meal drive for those that need a little bit more for the holidays. She also organizes with many, many hours a Christmas toy drive for all the needy children in our town. She helps out the MPS Superheroes Foundation. She has organized care packages for veterans, dresses and suits for high school homecoming and prom students, and organized just recently a diaper drive for hurricane victims. Myself and the entire council has personally seen the difference that this volunteer efforts have made in our community. And the person we're giving this award to this year, please give us a huge round of applause for Daylene Garcia. And please, Ray, Megan, and Emily, come join her up here as well, please. And I want to make sure that Ray, Emily, and Megan also come up as well because they're always by her side helping out. That's her husband and 2 daughters. She's such a wonderful role model to them, and they're by her side at every single volunteering event.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank our town, our mayor, our town staff, our council. It is because of them that I can do what I'm doing right now. It is because of the many people in the community that I can do what I do right now. Tonight is an emotional night for me, not only because this is very special, but because I have someone in my mind, and that I have to say, and I have to mention her. Her name is Ms. Mercy Moore. She was a great friend. She was just a kind person, very giving, very strong, and it is because of her that I can stand here tonight and receive this, and I want to dedicate it to her. And I want to say that everyone sitting here tonight, please, please, please give back to your community, be part of your community, and just as a whole, just continue to love each other. It's all about kindness, and it's about being together and being here tonight. Thank you.
Another huge round of applause for her, please, and all the thousands of hours she's given to our community. The next award will be for the Employee of the Year, and our town manager, Ed Peterman, will be giving that honor. So please welcome Ed.
I'd like to ask if you can bring in all the town employees, any town employees that are here in the audience, please come up to the front. If there's any out in the hallway that are gracious enough to give their seats for residents to be able to sit, please ask them to come in. These are our town staff, and it's your town staff. Obviously, we are not an organization that manufactures anything. So what we provide are services. We provide services to our residents, to our visitors. All of those services are provided by people. And what you see behind you are our town staff, just a sprinkling of our town staff. So what I'm here to talk about is the Employee of the Year for fiscal year 2018-2019. The Employee of the Year is someone that almost everybody knows. Even though he has only worked for the town for a little over 1 year, he has his hands in every high-profile project and event. He serves as our liaison for various resident committees, so many of you know him through that, and never ceases to amaze me with his dedication, work ethic, and never-ending positive energy. This year's Employee of the Year worked for the City of Hialeah for over 24 years. He earned a bachelor's degree from St. Thomas University in 2009 and never, ever shies away from taking on more and more responsibilities. In addition, he also happens to be a resident of our town, icing on the cake. Recently, he was entrusted with the position, very important position, of logistics chief in our organizational structure for response to major emergencies like hurricanes. Obviously, to nobody's surprise, he excelled in that role recently as we prepared for the potential arrival of Hurricane Dorian. He's the epitome of having a can-do attitude, which is shared by many of our town staff. We have an incredible staff in Miami Lakes, one that our residents should be very, very proud of. This award could have gone to any number of employees, but we felt that one person stood out over and above for the past year. Please join me in congratulating our Employee of the Year, Mr. Willie Sanchez.
I'm going to drop the hammer. I'm very, very honored to be here. Tony and I knew each other for a while, and when I retired from Hialeah, I had offers to go to the private sector where my wife wanted me to take, but my dream was to work for Miami Lakes, and I had an opportunity come my way. God, you know, sent me a message, and here I am. I'm very honored. We have an amazing team here of individuals, everybody working very hard. I came from an organization that was at one point very high and very well run, and I missed that. Towards the end of my career, where I was at before, those things changed a little bit. But we're here surrounded by great people, great families. I'm blessed to live here. I got married, I moved to Miami Lakes, and I've been here for almost 20 years now. And I'm excited. I want to be able to bring all my resources to this town, and that's what drives me. And among all these great people behind me, it's just amazing. I can't say enough. Even though we're working extra hours every day, it doesn't seem that we're working because we're all there's a love here, and we have to protect that. We need compassion. And our manager, I told him recently that compassion, that's what leadership is about. And that's what I'm all about. I'm about love and take care of each other. Now, I could drop the hammer too. That's not my... So, kindness is not weakness, but I'm very excited to be here and very blessed. And I love you guys all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
So one thing that Willie has brought to the organization is like whenever we're having a really stressful day, one day I was walking around, I was like, man, it's such a long day. He goes, Mayor, watch this. You wanna? Here you go. He has a little mint cream. And he makes me put it right here. He says that. It works. And it does work. It does work. So thank you, Willie. Okay, all right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Congratulations, Willie. Now we have one more award to give out, and it is also one of the most important awards for the night. It is the key to the town. And giving out this award, and who's going to introduce our Lady of Honor tonight is Mr. Tony Sanchez. Please welcome Tony up.
Thank you. Good evening to all. Thank you for being here tonight on this very special night. Council members, mayor, our town manager, who's a dear friend. How about a round of applause for the manager? He's done a fabulous job. Our police department, who is always out there keeping us all safe. Thank you for everything that you guys do as well. When the mayor asks me to do something, or anyone to do something, it's always a very special request and an honor. But when the recipient of the award is someone like Dorothy Cook, that only makes it that much more special and sweet. Dorothy, it's you. I think she just found out. I met Dorothy over 25 years ago when I first moved into Miami Lakes. And during that time, I've had the privilege and the honor to serve with Dorothy on a number of committees. I could read the list, but we'd be here till tomorrow, and there's no breakfast in order. So, but Dorothy has done it all in this town, and she's done it all from the heart. She's a very kind, loving person, a very genuine person, a ladies' lady. She is just an extraordinary person, and what an honor for me to have the privilege of presenting the key to the town to her. During her lifetime of service, Dorothy has served as a council member for the town of Miami Lakes. We were involved in the, remember the incorporation days when back in 2000 when the town was considering becoming an incorporated town. And the list goes on and on. The Garden Club, the Miami Lakes Civic Association, You talk about volunteering. If you showed up to any event, Dorothy was there, no matter what the event was, and no matter what capacity, whether she organized it, helped put it together, ran it, or was just there to help out. There was no small task or too large a task for Dorothy. Her family has been very supportive during the years as well. And you know, whenever you have a public servant in any capacity, the family is always behind that person. And her husband and her family have been there supporting her throughout all these years. And we should recognize them with a round of applause as well. The long hours, those long, never-ending meetings that we all love. Dorothy was there for it all, and she's done it all for the town. She's done it all for each and every one of us so that we can have a better quality of life in this town. If there's ever been a person that every mayor and every elected official I know has gone to for advice and good counsel, has been Dorothy, and it served them well. So those who didn't go to her for advice didn't do so well. But Dorothy's always been there for everyone and anyone who comes and asks for help or guidance. So I could think of no one more deserving than to receive this honor. And there's many deserving people, but in this town, after decades of service, I think that this is a very appropriate award for a very deserving person, a very kind person who never asked for anything and has given it all throughout the years. So without further ado, Mr. Mayor. Dorothy, please come on up.
Oh, isn't that
A true
beautiful?
class act. This is the 2019, hang on a second.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Sure.
Oh, here we go. State of the Town Address. Mayor Manny Sid presents the key to the city, to the town, to Dorothy Cook. Congratulations, Dorothy.
Thank you very much. Pardon me. He was taking a photograph of us.
Oh.
I was trying to hold it up. Thank you so much for this. This is beautiful. I enjoy the things that I do and help. It makes my life a much nicer thing. I don't mind helping people. That's why when you call and ask, and nobody is overdoing asking. Do you understand what I mean by that idea? But they're pleasures to be with. I get benefits from this. I'm not working hard or doing this or that. I'm having more fun in life. And if you should all be doing the same things. And it would make you feel better, and life is great. You know, it really is. Think, even these lovely children. I mean, aren't they fabulous to see and how they act and behave? So this is a blessing that we all are being given. And thank you so much to tell me about all this wonderful stuff. Thanks a lot.
Well deserved.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Not quite. Thank you.
Big round of applause for Dorothy, everybody. I want to make sure we recognize from Commissioner Bovo's office, staff member Mark Gomez. Thank you for coming out, Mark. And we have one last performance tonight before ending the State of the Town event. Please welcome back out the Matter Lakes Chorus performing a very inspirational song called I Believe.
Hi, my name is Nick Mashavito. This is Mr. Hector Barrera. We're both from Matter Lakes. Thank you. So we're going to sing one more song to finish this, but I wanted to take 1 second to first thank the city of Miami Lakes for inviting us. This is a dream come true. I mean, you know, we're sitting where everything happens, and we're singing to you guys, and you guys we have your undivided attention, willingly or not. So that's a fantastic thing for us. Also, if just one caveat, if maybe the mayor and the first lady might indulge me for a second, I did see some alumni here from Matter Lakes. They're members of the community, and I do want them to come up and sing with us. They're members of the choir. Joel, I saw you, if you're still here. And Caitlin, oh. Thank you guys. You guys ready? Yeah. Oh, yes, thank you. And we have a couple soloists in this one. If you step forward when I thought, Erica's going to start with a little solo, no pressure. And then we have Veronica over here, so just watch out for that. And I'll be singing because Mr. Rose is going to take this away. Thank you guys for coming, and thanks for having us.
Even when it's not shine.
Big round of applause for the Matter Lakes Chorus. How many people here got goosebumps from that? Beautiful job, you guys. Thank you so much for coming out. And that concludes the program for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and making time out of your very busy schedules to be here. And if you haven't enjoyed food from the Miami Lakes Educational Center Culinary Group, please make sure you go and enjoy that before. And drive safe. Thank you.